Grand Rising, my beautiful people, my beautiful YouTube family, all 800 and we at 70 something subscribers. I love you all so much. This is Naija, and Cliff Meg is not here at this moment as I'm doing this video. I wanted to come back and talk to you guys about homeschooling and some of the things that I run across with our people about homeschooling and just random stuff. But so one sister I spoke to, this is a little bit off topic, but you'll see how it ties in. So she said that she moved to a different neighborhood and got her children into like a different school, and she said the neighborhood is mixed and everything, and she said that her son, I think she said he's 13, and I think a white girl came up to him and was like, I don't date black boys and things of that nature. And he came to her and was like, Mom, like, why would she say that to me? Why is that a concern about my skin color and things of that nature? And she was explaining to him about just how society is and things like that. And she said that she was really shocked to even have them experience that sort of racial profiling. In that manner at such a young age. And I was like, wow, things like that can really, I feel like, scar a child psychologically. Because if you think back about, the times you were in school and everything, and all the experiences that you had in school, and if you could, and you think back to all of the negative experiences, don't those stand out more? As if they're more scarring and more so than the positive things. Like when I think back in school when I was younger, the first thing that comes to mind is like it wasn't a good experience and stuff. I feel like I didn't know myself and the greatness that I had within myself. I felt like I always wanted to, it was something in me that wanted me always to gather a group of people together to do things creatively. I felt like I was always in a class by myself. And I'm not saying this like in a like, oh, I'm better than everybody else, because no, we all great. We all have greatness in us, and we all are needed. What I'm saying is, I feel like I couldn't relate to anyone in the schools that I was in. And then, but if you talk to some of the other people that were in the same schools I was in, they would say they had an enjoyable experience, and they loved it, and they were one of the best days of their lives. But me, I feel like I wasn't living. I feel like I was on pause or something. Like I was just observing and not reacting, not living, So, and then I think back, like, would I've changed some things if I can go back? And I'm like, I would, but I understand that it would also change all the good things that came out of me now as a strong black adult woman. So what's in the past is in the past. But I say that to bring it back to the point of homeschooling, because I feel that it's so important who our children interact with and who's planting seeds in them from a young age. That we just think that it's just this automatic thing to put them in school because that's what we've been taught to do. But the thing is, we're letting other people implant these seeds of whatever it is into their psyche. And then it's just a ongoing cycle of that continuation of whatever agenda that is, which we all know what the agenda is, that's going from generation to generation. And I and my husband wanted to just give our children just the best of everything, like every parent, but you do have to question your decisions and what you've been doing over and over again and say, look, is this been working? My husband had a totally different experience in school. Maybe I'll have him come up with a video about his experience, but he wouldn't say the same things I've said about school. He enjoyed school and everything like that, and it was just totally different for him. I'll let him speak on his experience. So they're getting both aspects of an experience that we both had in school, because me and my husband had totally different experiences. So taking both of our wisdom, putting it together and analyzing it and coming out with a diagnosis, treatment of where we feel as a family unit, as an empire, what would be the best path for our children. And we decided that homeschooling was. So, and when I do tell people about homeschooling, that our children are homeschooled, the first question they ask is not, how educated are you, or is it hard, or how do you know what to teach? The first question is always, what about socialization? And I'm not upset about that question or anything like that, but I'm getting a little tired of hearing it just a bit. But because if you think about socialization and what's going on in the community right now, a lot of people, adults now, went to school and have 0% socialization skills. Okay? There's other races, which I will not mention, that have 0 socialization skills. And it could be due to culture, but they're succeeding, right? So socialization is not this top priority. And it's not like they're not getting socialization, because what is socialization? The interacting of people, knowing how to interact with people sociably, like in a sociable, civilized manner, right? I'm using social in the same sentence as socialization. But anyway, you know what I mean. So back to what I was saying with socialization. We socializing as a family. So it's not like they don't have any socialization. It's not like we stay in the house 24/7. It's not like we don't interact with our other family members outside of this home. It's not like we don't interact with other people when we go to different events, or when they have like homeschool co-ops, which you can get involved in, or when they have like other extracurricular activities. They socialize. But that's not of an importance in this culture. I want them to be great, the great beings that there are. People make it out to be like this very hard thing to do, because we're in a capitalist society, America, and it's all about the money here in America. And if you are in this system, most likely you have to participate in it. And you are participating in it in some factor or another, right? If you're living in America, because it's just set up in this certain structure. So homeschooling is just giving you an opportunity to, I feel like, in my opinion, reinforcing your own goals and your own morals that you have as a family unit. And I think that's so important, because you don't want the streets to teach your children. Well, I don't, because they have different goals, values, and I want to put in place something different because I'm looking out for legacy, right? Because I want my grandchildren to get the best of the best too. And I want my great great grandchildren to get the best of the best. And sometimes we don't even think long term like that. We don't think like, okay, how can we have our children plan for the future? It's all about right now and this gratification right now. And there's nothing wrong with living in the moment. I think a lot of times there's a time and place for everything, and that we do need to live in the moment at times. But we do need to focus on long term legacies, right? So like for example, not to get off topic too much, but I'm gonna tie it back in. Like with Christmas, my children still celebrate Christmas because they haven't always been homeschooled, so they know about Christmas. And then something I celebrated too as a child growing up. But this year I was thinking like, you know what? I love Christmas. I must say I love Christmas, and not really what it stands for is like the birth of Jesus, if that was even his birthday, which that's another topic. But the energy of Christmas is about giving. I love that aspect of it. I love the energy of giving, and it's more because I'm what they call an empath. And yes, you should be giving all the time. For those of you who's probably thinking that, but around this time of year, the energy of giving in the consciousness of people, it's bigger, it's huge, and I feel it. I feel the difference. I feel the difference of the giving in this particular time of year. So that's why I so much love the Christmas time of year, because of that energy that people are putting forth out in that season, right? So to tie it back in to homeschooling, I feel like I was telling my children, I said, we spend a lot of money like in these different businesses on getting you guys toys and different things, but it's so much more that we need to focus on and be spending our money on rather than giving out toys, because we give you out toys throughout the year, So my youngest, she doesn't get it yet, but she will. My middle child, my son, he's just like whatever, he goes with the flow. My oldest, he didn't want anything this Christmas, and he was fine. He got one thing. He wanted a game. He got one thing, and usually, he wanted a whole bunch of toys, before. But the thing is, I feel like we need to give more. Or maybe I need to get into really Kwanzaa, because I think that's the direction that I'm going in now, as far as Christmas is concerned. But to tie back into homeschooling, like I said, my son, like, his Christmas present was a credit card. And I know when I tell people that, they're like, what? Why would you give a teenager a credit card? Because my teenager is responsible. My teenager has learned about financial literacy. He understands about money. He understands about investing. He understands about savings. See, that's the type of things that you can reinforce in your child when you're homeschooling. And even if your child is in public school, you can still teach them at home. So you'll be homeschooling and they'll be in public school at the same time. And I think things like that, like, why not start them off with having good credit? But see, the thing is, you got to have good credit too. You don't want to pass on bad credit to your children. So what is it that you're going to change in 2018 as far as homeschooling? You can homeschool even if your child is in public school. You can teach them some things that you feel like they don't have to experience now, when they grow up, right? So that's just one example of some of the things that we do in our homeschooling path. And it's many different ways. It's no right or wrong way to schooling your child. It's about what's best for your family. And we feel like homeschooling is best for our family.